Speaking with Martin Schwartz, February 16, 2025, about the 1996 Klezmer Research Conference at Wesleyan.
Oi, Dr. Marek. So many stars for at the conference. Jeder mit a Stern auf ein Stern. All mit a star on their foreheads. So I was so dazzled by the stars, I don't remember the conference. Actually, all I remember, to be honest, is I gave a presentation on relations, one of my many presentations on relations between Greek music and klezmer and Yiddish music. It's probably what I did.
Mhm.
Um, and the last one that I gave after that, fairly recently, 2 years ago, you can find at by looking up um, Yiddish Summer Weimar Schwartz lecture. And I like that one. That compared Yiddish songs and Greek songs.
Sure, you've
Um,
been doing it a long time, yeah.
yeah, I I think I'm done with it. I don't know what else I can say. Anyway, what I'd like to do is acknowledge how some of the conferees affected my
Mhm.
research.
Mhm.
If not at the conference, then sometime afterward. Um, so I'll start with the late folklorist Dov Noy,
Yes,
an outstandingly brilliant scholar.
right.
Um, for one thing, he supplied some rare lyrics for a klezmer tune that I discovered on a 1911 klezmer recording from Constantinople, actually on a Greek label, but a klezmer group, and the melody, which is known from other sources. Um, so he supplied lyrics. Geläubt ist Gott, unser Beurer, hat uns gegeben unser Teure. Um,
Mhm.
so praised is God, our creator. He has given us he gave us our Torah. Um, so no, very interesting to have some lyrics to that song,
Sure,
unusual.
sure.
Uh, and, I'm an etymologist, so uh, I was interested to learn from him his etymology of the word gematria. Gematria is numerology, a Jewish version of
Yeah.
numerology. Um, you'll find some people derive it from geometria, geometry, which doesn't make any sense. Um, Others from Greek grammateia, the study of letters. But we're talking numerology, and Noy came up with an etymology from Greek gamma tria, which is to say, Gimel is three, the third letter is three. And I find that very interesting. And another time, I asked him about the origin of seven as an ancient canon, various groups of sevens. And I asked him, so is the seven planets, there was a canon of seven planets for the Babylonians, uh, is that the origin? And he said, as for the canonicity of the number seven in the ancient world, there are seven theories, of which planets is one, and then he gave me the other six.
That's Lily.
Uh, So uh, Robert Rothstein, I don't know how he pronounces it now. He presented, I believe, on the Argo of Klezmer, the
Right.
so-called Klezmer. Um, and that continued to interest me because in my work as an Iranist, I discovered from from a very old Persian manuscript and um, other material that in the medieval period, Iranian Muslims, lower class Shiite groups, took over uh, an exclusionary vocabulary that Jews had used, and in
Mm.
fact used until fairly recent times. A few people that still know some of it, um, called Lotarai. And it has lots of Aramaic words and Hebrew words. And I found that Gentiles, first Shiites in northern Iran, and eventually different gypsy groups, some of whom still use elements of this argot in Tajikistan, actually. Um, so, uh, in gathering that material, um, I not only used this Shiite material in an old manuscript about secret languages in Persian, um, but I found that characteristic of the overlap between lower class and underworld argot and musicians argot,
Mhm.
and there is in the klezmer world such an
Yeah.
overlap.
Yeah.
Uh, the same applied to various Iranian groups,
Mhm.
including professional musicians
Mm.
who played Iranian folk music, and
Uh-huh.
some of these groups were gypsies, some were not gypsies, but Iranians. And in that argot of Iranian musicians, I found Talmudisms and all sorts of interesting
Really?
elements of Jewish
Really?
speech.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's just an interesting sidelight, but the Rothstein talk
Okay.
interested me for that reason.
Mm. Yeah.
Uh, so finally, Yale Strom eventually provided me with a recording of Leopold Kozlovsky
Mhm.
performing an old Galician klezmer tune that was in his family. He came from a family of Galician klezmorim. Um, it's um, so forth. I was interested in that melody, particularly because there are some old Greek versions
Mm.
of that, beginning circa 1920 or so, and a later version from the early 30s. But I have no doubt that that is of klezmer provenience. It's musicologically a klezmer tune, not a Greek tune. And so I'm very glad that Yale Strom
Mhm.
provided me with this recording
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
Kozlovsky, playing it as he remembers it from his family.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So those are a few,
okay.
few people who were at the conference uh, to whom I'm indebted. Um, I'll now pass into uh, some musical lore from my Bronx childhood. Um, Firstly, my mother, Alea Shulam, was a wonderful singer in Yiddish folk style. And so I remember, unfortunately, fragments of some of her stuff. Maybe she sang them only in fragments, but one interested me. The melody is well known among Russians, Ukrainians, Armenians, and ultimately, uh, according to the very excellent research of a young ethnomusicologist named Ilya Saitanov, um, it seems to have originated among Terek Cossacks who were very close to uh, Nauri Chechens, a particular group of Chechens who had relations with these Cossacks, and the melody seems to have spread from there through the Caucasus uh, into Armenia and into the Russo-Ukrainian world. I'll hum that song and it'll be familiar. Uh, and so the song itself is not such a rarity, but my mother's lyrics are interesting, and I'll tell you why. So the song is now it's there are lyrics uh, in the Yiddish world. I think like Hota Yida Kapelish. Uh,
Mhm.
a Jew has a hi hat. Um, that's known, but I don't know how many people know my mother's version, which begins Vushes antil imitik, fundit neuem kimendik. Vushes antil imitik, fundit neuem kimendik. And it ends, um, trinken wel mir, gedenk schon nicht. So, essen wel mir, gedenk nicht. It's I who say I don't remember what we'll eat. Trinken wel mir Wein, and we'll drink wine. Moshiach wird kommen, Chassanis wird sein. Oy, doy, doy. So Messiah will come and there'll be weddings.
Right. Nice.
So why, why are you sad coming from the marriage contracts?
Right.
Um, and Ilya Saitanov supplied me with a series of lyrics he knew in his research of this song.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and one of them, like others, features a character named Karapet. Karapet is a common Armenian name. Um, Garabed in West Armenia, Karapet in East Armenian. It's like Greek Prodromos, referring to John the Baptist as a forerunner. There's a whole Iranistic story which I'll skip for now about the origin of that name Karapet. But and the fact that Karapet is here, an Armenian name, may actually indicate, maybe an index of the Caucasian provenience of the song. The Armenians call the tune Tamara, Tamara Bar, the dance Tamara. Um, and the lyrics, among the various couplets he knew of for this song, is Karapet moi biedri. This is, in Russian, Karapet moi biedri. Отчего я бледный, что я очень бедрый. My poor Karapet, why so pale? I'm pale because I'm poor. So they have the idea of someone looking pale because he's poor, and I think it's a possible scenario that this particular couplet, the lyrics of it, somehow were transformed into my mother's uh, Vujazantya imitik. Why are you
Uh-huh.
sad?
Okay.
Uh, okay, so
Okay, well, I should probably stop the recording at this point, but this is all very fascinating.
I have two more pieces. Can I do them quickly?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Uh, the the play Yosha Kalb um, was presented in the Elsmore Theater in New York in the mid 50s, early mid 50s, starring Morty Schwartz.
Hmm.
And they had as a kind of Hasidic niggun, this, which was very interesting. Um, Ya ba ba boy ba bum, ya ba ba boy ya doy. Enkemal enkemal ken enkemal keinu enkemoshienu so enkadonenu enkemoshienu. I thought it was very interesting. I learned later Henry Saposnik had from Yiddish radio program that had that as its theme song, just
Oh, okay.
the instrumental version. And finally, from Cheda, um, Psalm 136, um, at the Seder table began like this. Hodul Shem ki toiv, ki lioi lo mechasdoi, yedoi doi yai, adodoi doi, yedoi doi doi. Yadadaidum, 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 aidandaidum, kilioilum, chasdoi, and so
Okay.
forth, where we don't have much time, so we'll stop it there.
Yeah.
I learned that from the teacher in Cheder. Maybe he
Okay.
was from the Ukraine. I don't know. Anyway, that was in the Bronx. Okay, so
Okay. Great. Thanks. This is a great addition to to these little things I'm doing. I'm not sure what the what to do with these, but it's a nice collection, and maybe we'll post it somewhere and the Klezmer Institute or something.
okay, we're not being recorded now, right? Can I say a few words?